Welcome, Renaud Garcia-Fonds.
Thank you for inviting.
For first coming to the Bavarian Bass Days.
Yes.
Secondly, for having a little talk with me. I call it the Bavarian Basstalk. It's mostly because I'm from here and the Bavarian Bassdays Festival, but also to give our listeners, the people who attend the festival, who attended in the past and maybe the ones in the future, the different influences, the different ways of leading bass players of the world. And obviously you are one of them.
Thank you.
So my first question is, how was your way to the bass?
You know, it's difficult to explain. It's like when you fall in love.
That's already a nice way.
So it was, yes, very, yes, a big emotion. I would like to be a musician. I started music when I was a little boy, essentially by classical guitar, and I tried a little bit electric guitar, but I was searching for my instrument, and I had occasion just to try a double bass for few seconds, just touching the instrument, pull the strings, and immediately it was like revelation, you know. I knew that I should do that.
Do you remember that initial moment?
Yeah.
That very moment?
Yes, yes.
Where was this? In what time?
It was because a good friend of my brother was a bass player, and he was from the south of France, and he came to Paris to play with a dance company in le Centre Pompidou, you know, this big museum in the center of Paris. And my brother said to him, to his friend, you know, my young brother is interesting to approach double bass. Do you think he can come? So I came, inviting. I came in his garderobe, in his dressing room.
Have you been by the time?
I was 16.
16.
I was 16, and I just touched the instrument. I don't know. 15 seconds, I know, and I fell in love totally. And I can remember I was living in the north of Paris, so I ran all to my house after that, running across Paris because I was
walking,
like running because I was crazy. Yeah, because I was crazy. You know, I was like, this is something I should do. And I think the day after that, or 2 days, I go and rent my first double bass in a music shop.
Awesome story.
Yeah.
And then how did it go on? Like you try by yourself, you went to a teacher, or how was it then?
By chance, almost at the same period, same moment, my parents, my father was painter, and Spanish painter, and they visit another painter for an exhibition, you know, the opening of the exhibition, and there was a bass player playing at this exhibition. His name was François Rabat. So my parents spoke with him, and as you know, François is very kind and open person. And they explained, well, we have a son, he's starting double bass, and he said, okay, bring him to me, and we can, yes, maybe I can teach a little bit. So I visit François, and I was just really a beginner. And he said, well, that's good, you should go to take a teacher at the conservatory, and then you can visit me all the 3, 4, 5 months. And it was the beginning.
Yeah. And it means what you said, you are from a music family, right? Like your
Painter,
father?
artist family.
Yeah.
My father was artist painter. Yes.
So they had a certain sense for your
Sure.
desires
Sure.
and music
Sure.
education.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Definitely, they helped me a lot. Yes.
Do you think that was important for you? That
Yes. In fact, my father at the very beginning was not so happy because he had the feeling that I was touching one instrument and another one, and that I was not concentrated. But as long he understand that it was really serious and I was very concentrated on my practicing, and they support me, yes, very, very deeply. Yeah.
And like you said, you came to François, and then he said you should go to a teacher in the conservatoire.
Yes, and I had Jean-Pierre Laugereau, he teach me at the conservatoire, and I really have to thank him so much because he learned me very well, and he was open that I visit François all the like 3 times a year, something like this, during 4 years. And after 4 years, I get a prize at the conservatory, and I stop all teacher, and I really, since I was 21, I didn't take any more lessons.
So this means the period in your life where you had teachers was only maximum 5 years.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
And then, like, I mean, normally, traditionally, you would say after this you become an orchestra player.
Yeah.
It's like what
98%
98% would do.
Sure.
So what happened with you?
So when I was 21, so as I said, I stopped all teaching, practicing by myself, and trying to win my life with gigs. So playing in whatever possibilities.
When you say you win your life, it means trying to make your financially life also.
Yes. Means finding gigs, playing in different bands, in different styles, and start to, progressively jazz trio, accompanying some singers, making some replacement in orchestra, and finally I've been connected with many musicians in different family of musicians, different music
styles,
in different styles. And I met some Oriental musicians. I was accompanying for many years a Greek singer also, and at the same time I was starting to build a band which was maybe one of the first world music band in history.
World music
band.
What is the name?
The name was Nissa, and we get even a prize in Paris. We played in different places, and fortunately after 2 or 3 years we split, as sometimes happens with the groups. But so I start to play with Oriental percussion, flute, bansuri, marimba, all that, and it was very new music in that world, in that time, I mean. And and in parallel of that, I was playing also really jazz with big bands and all that, most at the same time. And finally, I met Orchestre de Contrebasse, l'Orchestre de Contrebasse.
I know very well.
So I started to play with them. And finally, they invite me also in l'Orchestre National de Jazz for 2 years. And in this Orchestre National de Jazz, I met many fantastic musicians, as a German incredible German musician, Michael Riesler, clarinet player and saxophone player, so he invited me also, and so I started to play quite often in Germany, and I finally did my first record in solo. I have been invited to play in the Meurs Festival.
Ah, yeah.
In Meurs Festival, I met Matthias Winkelmann, who was the director of Enya Records.
Mm-hmm.
So he invited me to make a first record to him. It was my first quartet, and so on. You know.
But what I understand, when I understand right, you never had like a traditional jazz education, but you just did it by yourself, like you dig into gigs and.
Yeah, but in that time, you know, there was not really teacher for jazz.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, it was really the beginning of teaching the jazz. You know, so of course I learned chord progression. I have a good friend pianist. He showed me, so I listened to that, practiced that. Mm-hmm. You know, and started playing the standards, and then playing in big bands. All the Sami Nestico, Can Basie, Joe Carrington, all that.
But you still always kept an eye on your bowing technique, because you developed your bowing technique, like, I think, unparalleled.
Yes.
But in jazz, you don't use it that much. So you always kept this in mind and practiced bowing technique,
yes.
But on the other hand, you...
All at the same time. And even, I can remember when I played big band, we play... what is this night in Tunisia, for example, and I had a solo, bass solo, and I start to improvise my solo, not in pizzicato, but with arco. So I immediately play also with the bow for improvising. You know.
And many people said, just when I come into the room, I heard some people talking about your lecture that you just did, and she also said, yeah, you never can copy this, or you never can play like Renaud, because it's that unique. Mm-hmm. And I think, like, I mean, also my vision on playing and bowing and everything is that what you did is like you try a lot by yourself, right? It is not everything like someone told you, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this.
Yeah.
It is a lot of like you search for
exactly
the sound and what you want to express from yourself.
Yes, I try to find my own discipline, you know, my own way of working, searching, practicing, very slow, in front of a mirror, looking to the technique, experiment the fingering, intonation, ornaments, all these things.
If I may ask, in that period of your practicing time, how much did you practice by that time? Is there?
It was between 3 and 5 hours a day. Yes.
It is like pretty normal for a professional player, right?
Yes.
It's not like 8 to 10 or...
No, of course, after that, if you are concentrated 5 hours on your instrument...
That's really long. That's really
after
long.
That, you are just good to go to bed, you know?
I just wanted to ask, like, for our listeners or students or something, do you have a practicing advices for people? What is your core of a good practicing?
I think maybe the most efficient is to practice quite slow. And I like to practice slow with a click. Not to be a rhythm machine, but to enforce, to get all the movement in a good timing, you know. If you play jazz, if you improvise or with Latin music, they don't wait you for the rhythm. You have to be with the rhythm section. So if you want to improvise phrasing, jazz phrasing or Latin phrasing, you have really to be in time and well adjusted in terms of intonation. So this is why I always practice with a click, slowly, all exercise very slow for intonation, very concentrated, and after that, for example, playing like this for 1 hour without stopping.
1 hour without stopping.
Yes, I did that. 1 hour without stopping.
For muscular training
Yes,
also?
I play, with quite soft action and try to play very relaxed. So it means I start very slow and then a little bit faster, I double, and then come back to something slow, and then, and to be able to get this kind of resistance training.
Endurance maybe also?
Endurance, exactly. Endurance, this is a good word, the right word. And I did that, I don't do that now because I just preserved myself, my muscles, Now it's a little bit different. I did it differently.
I mean, playing for 1 hour without stopping is a lot of brain training also.
Yeah,
I mean,
course.
it's not only the physical thing,
No.
you must be very
Yes.
awake.
Yeah.
In the same time, you must be also relaxed
Exactly.
and disciplined for doing that.
Yeah.
What do you play in that hour? Is it all scales or is it
Scales,
arpeggios or
exercise, whatever, everything.
do you prepare it before? You say you put this on your stand and put this on your
Yes,
stand?
normally I had more or less a program. Yes,
Uh-huh.
more or less I have the program.
Like what,
And it
for
could
example?
be very simple things, very
Going up and down the neck.
up and down. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's a. I mean, it's
Different bow, coup d'archet, how you said that, different way of playing, push, pull, legato, all these things,
Yeah. And you just mentioned before in our workshop, you also been a big rock music fan
Yes,
for a
sure.
while, right?
Oh yeah.
Is it still something in your, or would you say there is something in your music that roots back on that?
Sure, for sure. I have some roots in that music.
Like in many others also.
Yes, and essentially maybe as I played yesterday night, the blues.
Yeah.
The blues is based on the rocks mainly, not only, but mainly.
Yeah.
So this is so many people think yes, Renaud Garcia-Fonds plays Oriental things and world music, but maybe they don't know that. For example, the blues was one of my first music.
I mean, I like to hear that because I'm also a big rock fan,
Yeah.
but also I love classical music, and I did classes over the globe also. More like in the way I do teach, like mini bass in kids, and why I say it is that this kind of music is arousing so much enthusiasm. It did it in me, obviously in you too, and in the kids also.
Yeah, sure.
So that certain rhythm and excitement and also freedom, that's a word you also used a lot before.
Oh yeah.
That freedom is something pretty important to develop also.
Yeah. Yes, and freedom is compatible also with discipline. In fact, this is something to balance. Freedom is not going everywhere. It's also be capable to decide to choose something and to go forward.
Freedom is basically also something that you have to work hard for.
Yes, exactly.
It not comes just by.
Yeah, it's just okay.
It's the good weather.
Okay, like it's just a foolish moment. It's
not at all. No. Freedom is something that you need to work hard for. And I just saw you have a CD.
Yes. This is.
Can you say some words about it?
Yes, Le Souffle des Cordes, in English, the breath of strings. This is a project I composed for 8 string musician, only string. There is no percussion. 8
musicians.
There is a string quartet, 4 members of the Philharmonic of Radio France. And there is a Kamanche player, Deria Turkan, Kanun player, Serkan Ali, flamenco guitar, Kiko Ruiz and myself, and I compose all the music which is source in the musical, in the world music in general, because each piece by piece you can refer to different style or even countries, but it's of course imaginary composition and arrangement also. It's this music is essentially written. The improvised parts are really limited.
Could you explain the style in a way?
The style are different for each piece, in fact. You know. So example, there is one piece called Mamamushi. In the same piece, you refer to Baroque music, a little bit to Vivaldi, and then you go to Ottoman music, and then you go to Verdial. Verdial is a style of the flamenco. So you are going in this field, but it's following. You know, it's not like patchwork. It's really you have Skopje Melodija, for example. It's more influenced by Balkan music. Of course, Skopje. I have the chance to compose this piece originally because I play with the Skopje Philharmonic Orchestra, so I composed for them. It's a 9-beat composition, so I make an arrangement for this ensemble of strings. You have Rinete Viento, which is really flamenco rhythm. It's Buleria. Chicheup.
Buleria is an example you played before.
Yes, I played one yesterday. Yeah. Chicheup is more African influence.
Yeah.
And so on. You know.
Very exciting. I also have one, and I want to present it to you. Because you said you are influenced by rock music, and I did with the Bass Monsters, with Philip, who was here, Philip Stubenrauch, and Andres Martin, you might know from Argentina.
Yes, yeah.
And who is also there, Lisa de Boos from Belgium. It's all like rock standards, but for double bass quartet. Maybe one day you have a chance to listen to it, and I would love to hear your opinion on it.
So we make this exchange.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. I will listen to it.
Wonderful. So, Renaud, it was really my big pleasure to have you here. Thank you very much for
Thank you for inviting. My pleasure also. Yes.
For this talk and for being here. And we spent the day together. And tomorrow we go to the opera.
Yes. I'm afraid, yes, I'm back home.
Yeah. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you for the CD.